Hello, friends. Thank you so much for spending part of your day here with me. I really appreciate it. For those of you that are new, a very special welcome. My name is Michelle Davison. I am not a makeup artist. However, I am a stay-at-home wife, mother of 4, and makeup enthusiast. Today, I have a few different things I want to do. So obviously, we're going to be getting ready, and I have some new goodies I'm going to try out, and other things that I usually don't include in my makeup routine. I wanted to do a quick little chatty chat, and I wanted to not introduce a series because this is not a series, but I guess the best way to go about this is just to show you guys. I got a little bit of an Ulta gift. Look how cute. So beautiful. I've actually never ever gotten one of these before. So a couple weeks ago, Ulta had, I guess it was last week. It might have been a week or 2 weeks ago. I don't really know. But they had the jumbo shampoo and conditioners on sale. And obviously, I always have purple hair. And so I used the Color Protect shampoo from Redken. And they had, for diamonds, if you spend, I don't know, way too much, then you get a gift. And Sean's the one that placed this order. And Sean actually saw that. And he got the gift. And he actually chose, there were a couple different options he said, and he just chose one. So this is all Sean. I have been a diamond for over a year now. Never have I ever gotten a gift set from Ulta. I also didn't know that Ulta does, like, diamonds get special gifts. I think it's once a month you get to choose a gift depending on what you buy. Never knew that. I only ever got my diamond gift. So I wonder how much stuff I missed out on just because I didn't know. But anyway, I figured since a lot of this is sample stuff, I figured I would reach in and just pull out a product at random to work on over the next little bit because I am awful, absolutely awful at using travel sized, sample size, anything. I have to use full size or it just doesn't get used. I don't know why that is, but that's just how I am. Sean said there was an eyeshadow in there. He already picked that out and added it to my singles collection. So the eyeshadow is not included in here. But everything else is a little sneaky peeky. Maybe. I can't see the viewfinder. So maybe you're seeing a sneak peek or maybe you're just seeing an open bag. Who knows? But I'm going to reach in. I'm going to pull something out. Oh, this is boring. Okay, I know I said I'm going to reach in and pull something out and use it. But I don't know if I can use this. This is the Way Detox Shampoo. But since I have color-treated hair, I don't really want to mess with it because some shampoos tend to strip the color out of my hair, and it already doesn't last very long. So I know I said I was going to do that, but I lie. I'm gonna it's not Madigan. What do they call that? Mulligan. I'm going to mulligan that, and I'm going to pull another one at random. Euphoria, the famous mascara from Rabanne. Okay. That's what we're working on. So, I'm going to put Mr. Way back in there. Oh, wow, there's a lot in there. Did you guys get a peeky? Yeah, there's a lot in there. So, I don't have a goal for this. I don't want to finish it by the end of the month or anything like that. I just figured I should pull it out because if I don't, then it's just simply never going to happen. So, I'm going to do my makeup, obviously. There was a look that Megan did over on IG that I thought was just so stinking stunning. It was beautiful. So Megan is the queen of warm tones, and I am obviously not. I am the queen of cool tones. But this look, she's done it a couple times, and she looks drop dead gorgeous. I'm telling you guys, every time she does it, I'm like, so I want to do it today. And I haven't pulled out my Rose Metals palette in a while. So I figured she used Primrose from ABH to create her look. I don't have Primrose, but I figured that... Where am I going to put this? I think that Rose Metals is close enough. So, what I wanted to talk about... my wish list. My wish list is getting a little bit out of control. And my wish list changes pretty frequently. but there's a couple things that have been on the wish list pretty consistently now. And my sense of time is not great because as a stay-at-home wife and mother, man, I don't even know what day of the week it is since it's summer break. I just wake up and live the same day over and over and over again. Yes, ma'am. So knowing if things were on my wish list for a month or 2 months or 3 days, I don't know the difference. And that's proving to be a little bit problematic because I made some boundaries with myself, which was like, I can't buy something unless it's been on the wish list for a respectable amount of time. Now, I did not define respectable amount of time at all. So, you see where I'm going with this. You see the problem. So when I go to talk to Sean about should I buy this thing or not, I don't know what to report. So, oh goodness, it's almost nap time in the neighborhood. I'm trying to postpone nap time until the end of my makeup because I actually have a lot of chores that need to get done. So I'm hoping to get through this real quick. Anyway, so I have run into a little bit of an eyeshadow problem as of recently. In the month of July, spoiler alert, brought 3 new palettes into my collection. And that's a lot. That's a lot. And on my wish list, I have had the Call of the Sirens palette for, oh gosh, I don't know how long. I know I've talked about it for a little bit now, but how long is a little bit? I don't know. And I'm still trying to decide because I did a look. I duped the vibes, if you will, of the look that immediately came to mind when I look at that palette. Like, if I had that palette in front of me, that is the first look I would gravitate towards doing. This probably looks super weird because I have my palette set up right here. And I'm using the tiny little rose metals mirror, so I have to, like, angle my face so that I can have access to see. But I'm sure I look all kinds of, like, Halloween right now. Like, you know, when the zombies, like, move their body in weird ways and try to spook people. I'm imagining that's what I look like right now. But anyway. But the Call of the Sirens palette, I really liked the look I came up with my dupes. But this palette lives rent-free in my mind. Rent-free. And I don't know why. Like, okay, I totally know why. It's the colors I like. It's grungy. It's colorful grunge. It's cool-toned, colorful grunge. It's beautiful. But if I have effectively the first look that came to mind, I mean, everything else is just going to be a play on that look, right? So why is this palette living rent-free in my mind? Well, then, recently I was talking to Eden, and she was talking about Ice Cream Beauty Box. So you guys know where this is going. So, of course, your girl had to start looking up Ice Cream Beauty Box and seeing what's up with Ice Cream Beauty Box. Well, I saw, just from looking at some of the past month's goodies, that they do, like, Gourmand Girls. I don't know if they're collabs, but they have Gourmand Girls partnered palettes that they put up on there. So I'm like, maybe I don't need Call of the Sirens. Maybe I could just get the ice cream box one month if they have a Gourmand Girls palette that's really pretty on there. Because I know they had one. I'm starting to get my information all jumbled up. My instinct tells me that Friendsgiving was a Gourmand Girls ice cream collab, but I might be totally just making that up in my head. I looked all this up last night, like 2 a.m. and didn't write anything down. This is all just, you know, what's up in my mind. So don't quote me on this. I might be totally off the mark. But I do know that they did like a Gourmand Girls palette 1 month in Ice Cream Beauty. So then I'm like, okay, do I just let Call of Silence go and then just try to do that. You know what I mean? But I don't know, because it's not going to be like the vibes. But Ice Cream Beauty also does like a lot of really pretty stuff. Like they did the Ace Beauty. I've heard it said both ways. I think it's Ace Beauty. They did the Oceanic palette within the past 12 months. And that is a palette I would jump for joy if I ever received that. It's totally a me palette. So I'm like, okay. So I don't know. But I don't want to feel like I'm bringing stuff into my collection just to bring stuff into my collection. And I know I kind of am doing that because I like to try out new makeup. So like BoxyCharm, I am doing that. But when it comes to eyeshadow, I have so many beautiful, beautiful things that I don't need to be bringing stuff into my collection just to bring stuff in. So then I'm like, okay, do I just get the Gourmand Girls palette so I don't do that? Because I've wanted it for long enough where I feel like at this point, like I actually want the palette. I don't just like the idea of the palette, if that makes sense. But I don't know. I don't know what I want. So that's been living rent-free in my mind. Also, this year, I have brought an absurd amount of blushes into my collection. And I say this every single time the blush conversation comes up, but it's really, really true. I have never been a blush person. You guys have heard me say it once. You guys have heard me say it twice, and you're going to hear me say it again. I am not a blush person. No, ma'am. But lately I'm acting like I am. Like I just keep breaking blushes in. And on my wish list, there is a couple more blushes. So and I don't know which one came on the wish list first, to tell you the truth, but they both are on there, and I feel like they've both been on there for a while. Definitely more than a week, which I know is a super low standard, but when you have a shopping problem, or when you're in one of your shopping phases, we've all been there. We all know that sometimes a week is a start, you know? It is a start. So blush one is the Fenty Bacon Cakes. And I don't know if it was in the Ipsy shop, but I know for a fact I saw Kate talk about this blush being on sale for like a really good deal. Maybe it was TJ Maxx, Marshalls. I'm not really sure. All I know is she was talking about it a few months ago. And I was like, okay, it's pretty. It's a pretty blush. Well, over time, it's a pretty blush evolved into, I need that blush. And I don't know how. I don't know how it happened. All I know, maybe I don't want to use that brush. Maybe I want to use, do I want to use this brush? Use my finger. Use Nova. Bacon Cakes is just so pretty. It's like a neutral leaning, but also cool tone leaning blush, depending on what you pair it with. It is gorgeous. And I have had it in and out of my cart, oh man, for a while. So I found it actually for a really good deal on Mercari like a week ago. Somebody was selling it for $9. $9. With shipping, it ended up being like $15, but still, that's like an exceptional deal for this blush. Well, I thought about it for a while, and I even talked to Sean about it, and he told me I could get it, but I did not purchase it because I am absolutely obsessed with my Charlotte Tilbury blushes right now. And I was like, while it's a great deal, and while I don't think I'm going to find another of the blush that's this price, I also know that I cannot possibly use all the blushes I have in my collection right now. And I know that if I continue to get BoxyCharm, I'm going to continue to get blushes because that's one of those products they send pretty consistently. So I did not get it. I passed on it But the blush is still living rent-free in my head, and if you don't think I'm checking the Ipsy shop to see if that shade goes up there, you are seriously mistaken, because of course I am. But I'm just not right now, you know? I was able to talk myself off that ledge, but it is on my wish list. And if I had the opportunity to pick it up guilt-free, like if somebody did like a tradesies, I totally would. The other blush that, and it's really two blushes, but it's the same blush but in different shades. Is the, what color do I want to do on my lower? Nova. It's the Dior blush sticks. And I feel like not getting it is for obvious reasons. I love my Charlotte Tilbury blushes, so much so that I'm having to actively remind myself to use the other blushes in my collection so they don't go neglected. That's how much I love those blushes. But the Dior has a few shades. They have a lilac color that I'm interested in. They have the toffee shade that I'm very interested in. And they also have candy, which is the shade that everybody is interested in. But I keep talking myself in and out of those blushes. Like when it came to the purple one, which is the one I was most excited about. This look doesn't really look that much like Megan's at all, but I guess it kind of does. Using my Euphoria by Rabanne mascara today. I am so picky when it comes to mascara. I hope I don't regret this. Oh, goodness. We're going to need to do a diaper change pretty soon. But I knew it was going to happen eventually. I was telling Sean, like, literally yesterday. I was like, one of these days, it's going to happen during one of my videos. And today is the day. I talked myself out of the purple blush because while the Charlotte Tilbury one isn't like lilac at all, I actually genuinely really, really like the shade of it. Like, genuinely so. And so I'm worried if I get a lilac blush, even though I think it's what I want, maybe it's not going to be, because I thought that the Charlotte Tilbury one was lilac, and it just wasn't. So I'm just worried about it. I am also talking myself out of the toffee one. Oh, shoot. Well, that was unfortunate. All was going well until that inner corner there, but it's okay. The toffee one I think is beautiful, but I'm worried that it's not going to show up on my complexion well enough. So I really like bold, in your face, I'm wearing makeup. Natural makeup just is not my jam. And I worry that, and I've never swatched to these shades. So if you have them and I'm totally off the mark, please let me know, because I would like. Whoa. I would like to think that these products I'm lusting over aren't just totally out of the question for me. And obviously I'm still going to go and swatch them next time I go to Ulta. But right now I am trying to avoid Ulta because your girl needs new coping mechanisms and needs new hobbies that don't involve her credit card, okay? Your girl's got to do something else. Your girl's got to get better. I used to write letters, and I might get back to that because I gotta be honest, it was a cost-effective, fun pastime. And Sean already bought me like 100 stamps and 100 envelopes and a couple notebooks. And I don't think I've written a single letter since my daughter was born. I was writing like 10 a month prior to her, just to random people on the internet, which I know sounds kind of creepy, but it's like a charity. I don't know if I could say the name of it on here, otherwise I would. Basically, people nominate their loved ones who they think need some cheering up. And then strangers, like, write them, like, letters, you know? So I used to do that. I haven't done it in a while. I should get back to it. Because as much as I love makeup, I am having a hard time controlling that at the moment. So, anyway. This mascara is... It's aight. It's not my favorite. I don't know what it is. So Alexis from the Lipstick Lesbians, she said that one coat of mascara is 25 strokes of it. I never knew there was a true definition of a coat of mascara, but there is. So 25 strokes. I feel like I'm on coat 3 at this point. And again, it's a little sample size. It's not a big one, but I am not sure about this. How long are these little sample things supposed to last? I don't even know. And I might be just crazy because the wand looks to be about the same size as a full-sized wand does. I don't know. So maybe it's just all in my head and there's something wrong with it. Maybe I'm just wired to think about travel sizes differently. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. But it's good enough. So those blushes have been on my wish list. The palette's been on my wish list. What else has been on my wish list lately? I'm trying to think. Oh, there's these perfumes. So, I'm also using as Baby Professional. This is definitely a sample size. In my mid-year inventory, I counted this as a travel size, but this definitely is no travel size. This is a sample size. My bad. I realized almost immediately. I was like, nah, this is a 0.1 of a fluid ounce. But again, it's so freaking tiny that it just gets forgotten about, and I don't even think about it. Like when I start thinking about, okay, what are my oldest products? What should I really start using? That's never a product I think about ever. So figured while we're bringing out the sample bag, might as well bring out the sample primer, you know. I also want to use, I have the sample card. I got this, I believe it was from Meg when I bought a palette from her back in December. Yeah, it's been that long. This shade Dark Peach 0.4 is probably the only one left that I would actually, like, that would make any sort of sense for me to use. Oh, that was unfortunate. So I think I'm going to use this one and then just toss the rest because those just don't make sense for me. I remember liking the green one though. I think I used the green one. I don't remember if it was on camera or not, but not too long ago. Are you sucking on your fingies now? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yes, you did. Oh man, I don't know how to open these things. And Sean's not here to help me. Maybe I'm not using this today because I just can't get it open. Well, that's a bummer. Okay, next time. I was committed to using that today and I just couldn't. But what was I talking? Oh, the perfume. So I got a magazine in the mail from Ulta. And usually, oh, I forgot to prime my face. Well, shoot, I guess I'm not using that today. Usually I just kind of look through it. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I already like knew about all this stuff because obviously in the beauty community we get a 411 a little bit quicker than other people do. And this time they were talking about these perfumes, and I even made a whole video dedicated to them because I thought it was so good sounding. It's the Sniff perfumes and the Crumb Couture, I think is what it's called. They're the food smelling perfumes, and I was like infatuated with them. Absolutely infatuated. I have a thing with products that smell like food. I really, really, really like them. I bought 30 bottles of the Vanilla Bean Noel Bath & Body Works lotion back in the day, like 4 years ago. And I still have, I want to say 10 of them, a pretty respectable amount of them left. I've noticed lately that my foundation on my nose here has not been blending too well. So I really want to spend some extra time making sure in like my eyebrows. But I am still undecided about them. So I thought there was some rumor that they were going to be on the perfume sale at Ulta this month. And the brand Sniff was, but like the pancake one is the one that I'm, either the pancake one or the one that's like hazelnut cream or something like that. Those are the ones I'm really, really, really infatuated with at the moment. And neither of those were on the sale. So I could get them, but $65 is pretty steep for a perfume, especially considering I am not a perfume person. I never have been. But I want to be, and I figured that that would be a good way for me to kind of stick my toes in and see if I ever really could be. Now, the problem with that logic is I have a Bath & Body Works spray that I just begged Sean for last fall. I had to have it. I don't even remember what the scent is anymore, but it's full. Yes, ma'am, it is. It is full. And there's no reason I don't use it. It smells good. I'm not a seasonal wearer. So like I'll wear obviously smoky eyes in summer. I'll wear pastels in winter. I'll wear orange blush in the middle of winter. White pants on Christmas. Does not matter. But I don't know. I just don't ever reach for it. And maybe part of it is I just forget, like, I get everybody else ready, and then the last thing is to put on perfume, and I just simply just don't. But I'd much rather waste a $10 Bath & Body Works spritz than like a $65 Sniff spritz. You know what I mean? I mean, I'd rather not waste anything, but I know myself, and every time I tell myself I'm going to change, I just don't. So that's on my wish list. Probably not something I'm going to purchase, but that's on my wish list. And I have this infatuation with mystery boxes at the moment as well. There's nothing, so those are the only things that are truly on the wish list. Like, when I think about the wish list, I mean, of course there's things I'd like to try. Like, I'm curious about the Huda Beauty spray, the setting spray. I'm curious about it. I'm also curious about the One Size spray. You guys already know. I don't have to tell you. You already know. But again, not enough to wish list it. Like, it's not something I'm dying to try. It's something I'll be happy to try when it happens. but it's not something that I'm like, not something I need to try, and certainly not something I need to try like right this second, you know what I mean? It's just, it would be nice to try it. Whoa, that was terrible sounding. I have you guys propped up against my lip cup, my lip cheetah cup, and trying to get this one out for some, I have like butterfingers today, I don't know. So if Anyway, so I have this infatuation with Ice Cream Beauty because I think that this stuff is just gorgeous. In fact, I impulse purchased 2 products from that box last month. But that's kind of the problem, right? Like, these things aren't on my radar at all. Of course, there's always going to be something where I'm like, oh, that's cute. I like that. I would like to have it. But realistically, if it's not on my radar, I don't need to buy it. Especially these big ticket items like eyeshadow palettes. Like, I have enough eyeshadow. And so I'm really just trying to do this series to keep track of how long have I wanted something. Because if month after month, say the Gourmand Girls palette stays on the wish list every month, it's obviously something I'm thinking about. Then it might be something worth spending the $55 for. But if it's on the wish list in July, maybe not for August, not for September, and then October comes around and I'm like, it's been on the wish list since July. You guys can hold me accountable and be like, nah, girl, actually, it was off your wish list for 2 months. It was on your wish list in July and only July, and now you're convincing yourself you wanted again to stop doing that. Because, I don't know, the days tend to blend together, and not editing my videos helps in this type of situation because I can be like, nope, you were not thinking about that product at all. You may like the idea of the product. You may make an argument that it's on your wish list now, but you can't make an argument it was on your wish list 3 months ago if you didn't mention it in the video 3 months ago. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to do. Again, just another step in my healing journey, holding myself accountable while doing my makeup inspired by Megan. This look doesn't look, like I said, really anything like hers did at all, actually, but the vibes. It's the vibes that we were going for. So I used, again, my Rose Metals, Nova, and Rose Fire, and Sunrose, and Dune were the shades I used today. Look at these dips I'm getting. I have a baby pan that I hit not too long ago. Based off of where my baby pan is, I want to say the next pan I'm going to hit is either going to be Ashes or Sunrose, followed by maybe Haze. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see this palette getting a little bit more love. It's overdue, and it's my oldest palette in my collection at the moment, and it's gorgeous. So that is the look. But thank you guys for listening to me jib jabber today. I really need to get that off my heart and just out into the ether so that I can start holding myself accountable, because I'm about to film my July additions and empties, and once again I'm going to be embarrassing myself because it was another impulsive month. But I hope that, like last month, everything I picked up this month are wins. We shall see. It's not all here yet, but we shall see. So again, thank you for spending part of your day here with me. I really appreciate you being a part of my makeup journey and my makeup rehab. We're getting better. Month by month, we're getting better. Month by month, we're getting more joyful using the stuff we already have, and that's all the plan. So I really appreciate you guys, and I look forward to engaging with you. Please feel encouraged and empowered to engage down in the doobly-doo and in DMs. I love talking about makeup, new makeup, old makeup, makeup techniques, makeup looks, what's on my wish list, what's on your wish list. Love to hear it all. So with that, I'll let you get back to your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!